Thursday just before, he ended up getting arrested and sent back to Hague here.
We're doing like breaking news on our own guests on the podcast.
Which is just normal. Like we're just doing a revolving door. Yeah.
Breaking news. The guest that we just had on, he is now back in Hague here.
That's not a crime. That's not a crime. That's a misunderstanding. My name is Grady Stewart, an American living in Australia. And in 2018, I was convicted of cocaine trafficking from Compton, California to Perth. I've done my crime, and this podcast is my redemption. Welcome to Crimes or Misunderstandings, a true crime podcast where we do real interviews with real convicts. However, today we're doing a boys only, talking about some of the most notorious underworld figures in Australia. We've got Diago here sitting in, going to run us through today's program, and we've got the infamous Thomas Calabrio, wanted in most countries for, well, we won't talk about it. We won't incriminate him.
Yeah, we can't. No, don't incriminate him. Don't incriminate him.
He's producing for the first time, and he's right now. He's got all 10 fingers and toes, but we don't know by the end of the episode he might be missing a few. Diago is from Brazil.
We sell organs in Brazil, Tom. So watch out. So yeah, what's been happening anyway? What's been happening in your life in general, bro?
Man, so, as smart as I am, I've decided to start like 4 businesses at the same time, all of which generate very little money. but hopefully this is good. Actually, we're getting some pretty good traction on our podcast, and I want to get better at it.
Yeah.
I love when you chime in because you're a much better speaker than I am, and probably more intelligent, which is hard to admit, especially since he's Brazilian. But,
hey, Tom, I beat him in chess 3 times yesterday. 3 times. Man. Oh, yeah, and one of them was a 4-move check.
I got it. Look, there's nothing I can say about this. You got to switch your camera, Tom. That's part of your fucking. Don't get distracted. Hey, don't get fired on your first day, bro. First of all, I'm such a better player than Diago, but I've got dementia, so I forgot how to play. He actually did beat me in like 4 moves check, like the easiest, most. The scene move in the world. I played a lot of chess. I'm pretty sure he drugged me because I just remember looking in the mirror, and I was just like, man, I'm chiseled steel. I woke up this morning and it was all gone.
Never leave your water unattended in the Crimes or Misunderstanding studio.
Man, how did that happen? I'm so disappointed in myself, and I apologize to my children that I ever lost to Diago. But I promise to avenge these losses. I am bitter about it.
But yeah, the podcast has been doing really well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And on YouTube, I think when you say subscribe, the button light up. So subscribe, and if you're watching this, when we say subscribe, the button should flicker and click it.
Should I say subscribe also?
Yeah.
What about share and subscribe?
Because we only say subscribe at the end of the episode every time.
All right.
Every time.
Well, we're learning, right? Like, I get some of these brutal comments. My girlfriend reads them to me. Oh man, I'm like, I'm getting destroyed here, but I'm trying to get better, guys. We're not marketing this thing. We're on nothing but YouTube yet until we get better. But we have some killer guests coming up. We've got one guy that 60 Minutes has been tracking down. He's probably the most notorious gangster in Australia, and he's promised me his story before them, just because I used to train him for years. But man, it would be good to get some of these guests on here. So what are we doing today? What are we talking about?
We're going to go through an underworld figure, which is Tony Mokbel, who's just been released. I'll give a little rundown of who Tony Mokbel is, and after that, since the show's called Crimes or Misunderstanding, and you're from America, I want to put forward one of Trump's felonies, and I want you to tell me if it's a crime or it's a misunderstanding. You can chime in as well, Tom.
Okay, can you send it to me in advance so I have like 30 minutes to think about it?
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
All right, let's go.
Tom hasn't said a thing. Should we?
Yeah.
Cut to Tom?
Let's tell people who Tom is.
Yeah.
You got to switch the camera again, Tom, or you're going to get knocked out. All right. Listen, you got to switch the camera when we're talking. So we brought Tom in. B-Rad, also AKA Divine, has been MIA, and well, let's just say we've brought in Tom, but we're going to see. We're trying him out. He was in episode 2. His dad has an incredible story, and Tom himself is an incredible kid. I mean, what a polite kid for what he's gone through. His dad's currently doing life in prison for murder with a minimum of 23 years. You need to go back and watch the second episode.
Second episode, yeah.
At 13 years old, Tom's dad, Dom, killed a guy that had abducted and tortured him 3 times. This man came back to his house, knocked on the door, and when he opened, he assaulted Tom's dad, then started robbing him and was telling him he was going to kill him. Tom's dad, Dom, beat him to the punch, ends up stabbing him through the neck and killing him. And then he went home and told Tom, at 13 years old, I've done something. I won't be seeing you for a while. And he's went into prison. That's now 6 or 7 years later. And I knew Dom. And he's got an incredible story. He started at 13. He's now 19. He's found his way, like helped his dad with all of his court cases. His dad's quite intelligent, and so is Tom. And they've now, through our help, secured a group of solicitors. Tom, tell how'd that come about? Put the camera on yourself.
So Dad was doing a lot of the boys' parole cases and helping them out with all their legal work in prison, and got a lot of business for one of the civil lawyer companies. And then they've put him onto another company, which is helping him out with his court proceedings in the High Court pro bono. And yeah, they're just looking through his paperwork now, getting ready to go to court.
How does somebody... Good switch. That's good.
That was good.
Yeah, so we're working with... But yeah, it's like... so there's a sheriff in Florida. His name's Sheriff Grady. Happen to like him. He goes, if anybody breaks into your house, we encourage you to shoot them and kill them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I did. Like, this guy is kidnapped and tortured his dad 3 times. He's got a horrific history as far as even as I did time in prison. I heard about this guy, and he was no good even through prisoners. Like, the dad the guy breaks into his house, punches him, starts robbing him, tells him he's going to kill him, and I don't know.
In America, that wouldn't have been a crime. In America, he would not be in jail right now. But in Australia, someone can break into your house and then you defend yourself, and somehow you end up in prison, and that's law over here. But it's awesome that Tom's joined the team. And we got some solicitors to help out his dad and hit that appeal, and hopefully he goes to the High Court and he can get acquitted of everything as he should be. It's self-defense. He was defending himself, and the other guy's a piece of shit anyway. He was a criminal, a really bad criminal. And yeah, hopefully we get him out. But welcome to the team.
Yeah, Tom, why don't you give a mention of who the solicitors are that have jumped on board? We know we want to recognize anybody that's here helping. Who are they called?
So the lawyers from Whitehall and Associates have been, kind enough to help out with the case. Shout out to them.
We've done a podcast not too long ago, and we had Tom asking questions. We like to put him on the spot. He said he got nervous, so get ready to get more and more nervous till you're not nervous anymore. Tom, you're going to be put on the spot, but don't forget to switch the camera when you start getting nervous, all right?
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go.
Tony Mokbel, also known as Fat Tony, is a notorious Australian criminal who played a central role in Melbourne's Gangland scene during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Mokbel rose to prominence as the leader of The Company, a major drug syndicate responsible for a large-scale trafficking of amphetamines, ecstasy, and cocaine across Australia. His criminal empire amassed significant wealth, including luxury properties, race horses, a Ferrari. In 2006, while on trial for a drug charge, Mokbel fled Australia by yacht and was later arrested in Greece in 2007. He was extradited back to Australia and in 2012 sentenced to 30 years in prison Mokbel's case gained further attention due to Lawyer X scandal, where it was revealed that his defense barrister, Nicola Gobbo, had been acting as a police informant while representing him. This breach of legal ethics led to squashing of one of his convictions in 2020 and reduction of his sentence in 2023. On April 4th, 2025, just a few weeks ago, after serving 18 years, Mokbel was released on bail under strict condition, including electronic monitoring and daily police reporting, as his remaining convictions are currently under appeal.
Wait, so he's already done 30 years and he's now out on bail?
He's done 18 years of the 30 years, and he's currently out on bail under appeal for the rest of his sentences.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a third world country, but and I'm grateful to still be in Australia, as a permanent resident. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of complaining against the government, but how ridiculous is it that you go and hire a lawyer to act in your best interest, and she's gone informant? I mean, where there's no justice? I mean, like, how can your lawyer go and give evidence to the police on your own case while you're paying them? That's a bizarre story. I don't think a lot of people in America have heard of that story, but he went to a lawyer who was a police informant.
There was another case in Sydney. There's Simeon Boykov, is this Russian guy, and he was big in the COVID era, and he ended up going to prison, and it turned out when he switched his lawyer, he was able to get out of prison. And he claims that she was also working with the police.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I know a lot of the lawyers personally work with the underworld, because they find out if, one of their guys goes in. They provide lawyers with clients, and clients give the big boys information. And if you don't, it's never good to be a snitch, because when you get out, you find out, and even inside you'll find out. And the lawyers, a lot of times are working with the bosses of the guys you're going against. So, man, you never know what you're dealing with in the criminal world, in the law. It's the world of unknown. But I cannot believe that they're using lawyers as informants. Are they still doing that? Is that legal?
I don't think it's legal. I think they're still doing it. It clearly, during his case, he was. It's only in 2020, so it's not even that long ago that this happened. So it seems like there's quite a few. That's like you gotta know, I guess, what company you're going to deal with, and this goes out for anyone that's trying to evade any charge that they have, whether you're whether you actually did it or not.
Yeah.
This is a warning to everyone to make sure that the lawyers that you go for, you actually vet the company. And sometimes companies might try and take these cases and just to completely get rid. Some of them even close cases, even though they're still open, like Horse, which we'll have on a podcast. His friend, the case closed, but the body has never been found, and he knows where the body is. Yeah,
so that was we had his episode. We're gonna do another one with him because his that
was insane.
His mates disappeared. His body's gone. The guy's gone. The guy's mom has gone into his house and found a big puddle of blood. They convicted his business partner of murdering him. Horse, one of our mates, he's slightly sane. I mean, just a little bit sane. The rest, not so much. So he's actually. Apparently, he was in prison and was told where the body was. And we are in the process of probably going and looking for it.
Oh, but Tom, do you think this is a good idea? When he told me that this is going to happen, I was like, I don't know about this. So he's going to have Horse on. Horse knows where this body is. And then they want to, on the podcast, vlog. Let us know in the comments as well if this is even rational to do. On the podcast, they want to vlog going and digging this body up and taking it from the ground and then taking it to police and saying, open the case up and here's the body. Do you think that's rational and legal, Tom?
I don't know about legal, but rational, definitely, yeah.
Hold on. So let's be a little bit more specific. So he has, in prison, he was told by the guy who actually is thought to have perpetrated the actual murder, because the guy, his business partner hired somebody to do it, and they never found out those guys, from what I understand. This guy, for some reason, has told Horse where the body is.
Yeah.
And that there's several other bodies in the same spot. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So, and Horse is full, like I said, he's slightly sane about this much. The dude is he's nuts. He's been in prison like that many times. But
the amount of crazy characters that are just like, for example, Horse, he's done time, but he was also played for the Canberra Raiders. He played for the Australian national team in rugby. He played for Australia in France in a French team. Like, these guys are criminals, but the last guy that we had on the podcast, he was a professional BMX. He's like a national champion BMX riders. Like, it's interesting characters, but that one digging up a dead body in a vlog, I don't know if we can do that.
We can't. I mean, I'm not touching that. And I think this body was killed before I was even in Australia, so I'm safe. But and I also don't want to piss the police off, because, I've already explained to them, when they came to arrest me for my crime, when it was organized crime, I stopped them with it. I was like, no. You guys have sent the wrong people. Like, what do you mean you sent the wrong people? I go, there's nothing organized about what I'm doing. I'm probably just bringing cocaine over so I can get women. But that was, So I don't want to piss the police off, but apparently we're going to find a body, or several.
But if the general public go and they go preemptively to find a dead body, is that legal?
Well, it's like finding gold. Is that legal to find gold? At one point gold was it was not legal tender, at least in the States. If you find a body, what are you going to do? You found a body. It's like, it's got to be legal. Somebody wants to know, because they do those big manhunts. They have, people go out, searching for bodies with, like big groups of people and families hired. So I think we should be well within our rights. I do have a law degree. I bought it online. So, I don't know. Well, if Horse is going to show us where a body is, we're going to go grab it. We'll worry about everything else later.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild episode that's coming up. But it's interesting. And you got a point there. I mean, dead body, I guess the body is a gold,
Yeah.
Yeah, how's the analogy? You can find gold, you can find a dead body.
Well, hey, speaking of gold, what about our other mate, Stephen Clark, who broke his friend out of prison and is now a gold prospector, doing pretty well.
Look, that's still my favorite episode to date. Clarky, if he's so he breaks his friend out of jail with a shotgun, and then you were like, well, was it preemptive? And then he was like, no, I was just there. You were just there with a shot-off shotgun.
Shot-off shotgun. Yeah, I'm like, Clarky, I love Clarky, but I just
is the best.
But how many people could actually say? I know there's be a lot of how many people. This guy's old cellmate was on a prison transfer from Casuarina Maximum Security Prison to Fremantle Hospital. And Clark, as he says, was accidentally there with a sawed-off shotgun when he sees him getting pulled out of the transport. He's in shackles, and he's walked up, and according to Clarky, which... Clarky, you're full of shit, but I'm going to tell you, I told you on your episode, but he says, excuse me, sir, can you politely please let my mate go? And he's like, the guy's like, no, we can't let your mate go. He goes, well, don't be reaching for my gun. And he goes, he kind of hesitated, so I just kind of tapped him in the head with the shotgun. I said, you tapped him in the head. You ripped his ear off. You ripped his entire ear off, man. And then told the guy, anyway, long story short, he literally broke his mate out. They made an escape. There's news articles of this guy escaping, and they're like, yeah, they were driving off, cracking up, laughing. And they went and picked up his mate's girlfriend, who was obviously, you know, IQ was south of probably 40 because she immediately logs into Facebook to like check in, and they would track down with GPS. So but
if you're running away from the police, don't log on to Facebook.
Yeah, you should probably stay away from all electronics, you know. But
yeah, I recommend that. That is honestly, that's been my favorite episode, favorite guest. It's the title is Shotgun Breakouts and Brotherhood, a true prison break story. If you haven't seen that episode, I recommend anyone listening right now watch that episode. It is hilarious.
So, hey, but we got to tell them about the follow up. So we've got Clarky. His dad was also in prison. His dad did the Fremantle prison was known as like a torture chamber. His dad did time in Fremantle prison, like that. Like people that have been in prison and are told you did time in Frio. It's like they had buckets to shit in and like just like rock walls anyway. Clarky, who is a frequent flyer into the penal system, he's like, yeah. He goes, one of these times when I went in, he goes, my dad was there. We ended up being cellmates. So we've got him and his dad coming in. So we've got
They were cellmates.
They were cellmates.
What?
Yeah. So they're gonna come and tell us about being cellmates. You know. So
bro, this podcast is getting wild. We're getting some wild people in here.
Right. You know, the funny thing is, I just think it's normal.
Right. Some people that came in. Silas was another one. He was hilarious. He's great.
His podcast.
What happened? Oh, actually, Tom, what happened to Silas? So Silas was the episode was the untold story of the native New Zealand, so Maori bloodline tribe. It's done really well. It's already over 10,000 and heaps of people have commented on that one, and the comments are hilarious. You definitely, yeah.
Man, so the guys, he went from I don't know if he's insane or another human being, but man, when he moved me when I was there, the guy is so fluid. If he's insane, he's so fluid in his insanity, which a lot of people said he's insane. But man, the guy is so intelligent, and you can feel him, like his spirit. I don't know how to. I never met anybody like that, and like I met crazy people, but I've never met one that you could just feel emotion coming off of him, and he was so fluid. Like he had an answer for every question, different languages, and like, I can't explain the guy, but for me, he was exceptional.
And what happened after that podcast?
So we was meant to do another one on the Friday, but the Thursday just before it, he ended up getting arrested and sent back to Hague here. I'm not 100% sure why.
We're doing like breaking news on our own guests on the podcast.
Which is just normal. Like we just do like a revolving door. Yeah.
Breaking news. The guest that we just had on, he's now back in Hakia right now.
yeah. We're back in Hakia. Hakia is the maximum security prison here. It's also the remand prison. So, yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, Hakia sucks, and they're understaffed. So apparently they've got three people in a cell which has bunk beds. So they've got a mattress on the floor, and because they're understaffed, they're doing 23 hours a day in the cell. I think yes, 22 or 23 hours a day in the cell. Yeah, man, it's coming out of our summertime, and none of the state-run prisons have air conditioning or heaters. So, and they're concrete walls. So in the summertime, it's hotter inside than it is out. And in the wintertime, it's colder inside than it is out. Like, that's why you went to a private prison. They got the private prison here. It's a medium security Acacia. And when you get to self-care, they have air conditioning. You're like, oh, what? That was it. But you do not want to be in prison in the middle of winter here, or especially in the middle of summer. I mean, Waterloo, it was built in the 1800s as a leper colony, and then it was later converted into World War II, like hospice for guys coming back from World War II that were going to die. And people was clear, but yes, I mean, you're literally sleeping in rooms that multiple people have died in that had leprosy, war wounds, and the best way to freak people out, because the Aboriginals believe in ghosts and all that stuff. So I used to put like, I used to paint like paper mache, stick them up in the tree and like make glowing eyes. So so at nighttime they all be freaking out. But yeah, you don't want to be in a state prison. You do not want to be in a state prison in Western Australia. I'm sure like it's probably worse in a lot of other countries. But man, it is uncomfortable.
Silas is one of the. It's interesting because he is like his story himself and everything is controversial. But when you look at the comments, like they're quite good. Like I'm looking at it right now. It says, this interview exceeded my expectations. Currently sitting in Auckland, wind blowing from the cyclone. I'm on a similar journey. This was really inspirational. Kia haka brutal. Best of wishes for the podcast. There's so many good people in the criminal world. I know firsthand and can still live to tell that tale. Love heart. So that was Sparking the Dark TVZNZ. So shout outs to you. Another one was, this is actually so beautiful. The messages beneath the messages. Thank you for this. Corredo from New Zealand. Shout outs to you guys as well. That was Trine.global 715. So he got a lot of positive reviews, and then literally days after doing the podcast, he goes into jail. What like, so you speak to him, Tom. What happened? Like, why is he back in jail right now? Is he going to get out?
Well, I'm not too sure. I haven't had the chance to speak to him personally, but his brother called me up. He told me he was meant to be getting out of prison last week or something, but I called Hakia up and they said he's still on remand, so he hasn't been sentenced yet.
So he's on charges then. I mean, you told me the charges. It's not always cool to put people's charges out there.
Yeah.
But like his charges is nothing serious. The guy he's all heart. What he did, like he should already be out for it. It's like it's just the style of life that he lives, unfortunately. But
This is how's this comment from Steeler YMC. Bro, this bloke hit the jackpot for the spun out of yarn. He hit the jackpot for a spun out yarn.
Yeah, oh man. Well, I'll tell you what, he blew my mind. I feel, I don't know what, I haven't been to a movie in so long because I just feel like every now I know like everybody in Hollywood is like mostly pedophiles and like rapists. So like I can't even watch movies anymore. I'm like, that guy's a pedophile. That guy, like had his manhood taken from another man. Like I can't watch movies anymore. But I think they're about $21 to get in. How much does it cost to get into a movie now?
About that, $21 or something. So I don't even know.
Every day I owe myself $21. Even these two weirdos I hear them talking. I'm going to like, if you've never hung out with a Brazilian man, this dude is straight weird. We were doing a business meeting the other day, and he was fasting for Lent. Was it fasting for Lent?
Yeah, I was fasting for Lent.
Yeah, but he said he thought it would be fine to chug a bottle of Fireball, which he promptly became the CEO of every company. He fired everybody in here, even in companies he wasn't even attached to. He fired everybody and had us replaced within minutes. Thank you for that movie, man. So we've got now CEO, the chief in charge, Diago. Thank you for firing myself and everybody else in the entire building. That was extraordinary.
Yeah, moral of the story, when you're fasting, don't drink Fireball.
Yeah, man. No Fireball. If he's drinking Fireball, I'm leaving.
Right. I'm all about productivity, Tom. We're all about productivity.
That's
if things aren't getting done, give me a Fireball and I'll tell you.
Clarky was there, and we're talking about like, because Clarky's gold prospected. He's been doing pretty good. He found like 290 grams of gold. He's found like 300. I think it was like $4,000, $12,000, $33,000, and $44,000 worth of gold in each time. And now he's been buying equipment and stuff like that. Diago, by 3/4 of that Fireball, had helicopters flying into where he was at, trenches being dug, pulling out 4 billion tons of dirt in a day, and then we're gonna be well,
turning the
sand into bricks and the bricks into gold.
Yeah.
So, okay. And no, he wouldn't let anybody leave. Even after he fired us, we're like, I gotta go home, please.
We needed the operation done, and it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
And it's hilarious. Clark is here, like going to jail, breaking people out with shotgun, and I'm like,
"You're fired.
You're fired
from your own business that nobody's involved in but you." The only person I've seen get fired that much in a night was my girlfriend. My girlfriend, she's from Canada and I'm from America, so we obviously hate each other. And we work on a little restaurant thing together. And she told me I fired her 5 times last week, but she keeps coming back. Anyway,
hopefully Silas gets out of jail, and we'll have him on in future to know what happened, because there's a lot of people commenting on that episode, and we like interaction. Like we're like, as you said, brand new podcast. We haven't shared it anywhere. We haven't put any money to any marketing. We haven't even made really clips from these podcasts. It's awesome that people are really enjoying them.
Yeah. So I know this thing's gonna work. Like I've got weird niches. So I've told Diego since day one, we're not gonna market it anywhere but YouTube till we hit 20 episodes. So we shot 35, but we had B-Rad doing the sound on. So the video was fine. There was just no sound on like 15 of them or 20 of them. So we're back to 15 again. So we'll be, as soon as a little bit more polished, we'll be putting them out there. I hear your comments. I talk over my guests. I get it. I hear it, but I can't help myself. Sometimes I think I'm funny.
Oi. The comments really get to him.
Yeah.
Comment more. He reads it. He'll read one comment and he's like, I don't want to read anymore.
But I had one guy, Nunzio's friend, this guy, he blasted me. And then he was like, he kept changing the subject. First of all, I got ADD, and we've already changed from Tony Mokbel to
Tony's taking a back seat.
Yeah, so this guy's, that guy kept, every time you're telling a story, he took over. He goes, I was screaming at the TV. So first thing I did, I said, I want this guy on my show, man. I need him sitting right there to keep me on track. I've contacted him and I'm saying, please, man. I guess he's in Queensland. I said, come over. We want you on my show. Even if you look, I have not met anybody in the last 30 years I have disliked. I don't know why. I find everybody, like, there's something about everybody that I find entertaining. So even the people that are cussing me out, thank you, appreciate it. But I'm here just for like lighthearted fun, which is weird because like most of these are very serious crimes.
I think that's the appeal of the show, is that like these people have done some serious shit, some heavy shit. And we have them on, we talk about the story, but then like, there's bits where you call them out on it and it's hilarious. Where you're like, tell me the truth. It's like, when Clark was like, I came with a shotgun, it wasn't premeditated, and it's like, sure it wasn't.
Bro, you live an hour away. He's your old cellmate. And you accidentally were sitting in front of a tiny hospital on the day that he was being transported with a sawed-off shotgun. You're full of shit, bro. I'm telling you right now. I don't care. You're full of shit. And his first time I went to prison, that's why I got to look at him, see if he's wearing anything concealed. Because the first time I went to prison was for shooting at somebody that disrespected him in a convenience store. So
oh yeah,
he's like 16 years old. So I'm gonna make sure if I'm gonna be cracking jokes at his expense, I can see that he's not armed.
But I think that's the appeal. I think it's like there's these insane story of these individuals that aren't just criminals. They like the episode coming up, like professional rugby player, professional BMXer, like all these people have done things beyond their crimes. And then there's this serious episode, but I think you add some humor to it, and I think that's what people get brought into. And actually, these it's interesting. These because we were having these like, what should we do for these boys only episodes, right? Should we take like the Tony Mokbel story? Should we look at like crimes and discuss them? But like some of these guests that are coming up talking about them like we have today, that's actually pretty cool. I actually I like that.
Well, I do too, but I quite enjoy like so. I made a lot of friends. It's funny because like in prison, so sorry, I got a speech impediment and I got like 30 thoughts going through my mind. But I met a lot of good people in prison. And
you met Ben Cousins in prison, yeah?
Yeah, because hey, Ben, if you're watching this, he knows I used to come across the tennis courts. I smoked him 100% of the time. I used to tell him, hey, Cousins, your ass whooping's coming for you. And I would yell across the whole prison and he'd be like, oh, shit. And then I just saw our friend Adam Hunter just died. I saw him at a funeral. And, you know, so I didn't grow up with AFL. And so he's like, with all these famous AFL people. And I just came up to him and I see Cousins and I just wanted to say hello to my victim. And they're like, what? He goes, yeah. He's like one of the only ones, but yeah. So yeah,
like shit like that. Like you played tennis with Ben Cousins in jail. It's like some of the connections are absolutely insane, and they're characters, man.
I didn't even know who Ben Cousins was. I just knew he's like. I mean, I knew after they told me, but like guys were like at the fist, like that's Ben Cousins. So I was like, well, Ben Cousins is getting smoked like a marijuana cigarette in a rap concert, bro.
But that's the appeal. I reckon that's the appeal, and for everyone that's like right now on the roller coaster, yeah, get ready because it is getting insane. And some of the guests coming up, like the ones you mentioned, it's
we got 60 minutes to try. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just shooting the shit. So when you guys are telling me, one guy's like, you don't even have 20,000 views. I was like, man, we started this like 2 months ago with $2. So like, what do you want from me? I can't even believe we've got more than 10,000 views on some of them. Like, yeah, we've got one guy that 60 Minutes has been chasing, and we went and met with him, and he said he's going to come shoot the shit with us on our podcast first, and he's probably one of the most notorious guys in Australia. He's definitely top 5. So, and then we've got a few others. Maybe we could convince Ben Cousins to come on.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
We did. Yeah, he's actually such a kind, like good-hearted guy. Yeah, and good athlete, good tennis player, just could never beat me. So
he also trained with Danny Green as well.
Danny's a good friend of mine. Danny's always helped, you know, like I met Danny when I was at Kin Shamrock over here, like years and years ago. And then I hit him up from I lived in when I first got here, it was a small town called Kununurra. I'm telling you, everyone like, Kununurra is so beautiful. And I get it. If you guys are from Kununurra, I'm sure it is beautiful. I stayed there for 3 years. It was 2 years, 364 days too many. So like that place is hellfire hot. And it only, you know, everywhere else in the world, they have 4 seasons, it has 2, the dry and the wet. And they both suck. Man, I'm talking, it is so hot there. You cannot believe it. Like I've had some friends fly over it, but I ended up living with it. Like with Aboriginals in a community who did spearfishing and crocodile-infested waters and like hand lined, and ended up living with Aboriginals for 3 years up north. It was unbelievable, but it was hot. And of course, me with my bull. They asked me, they're like, "You from Texas?" Like, do you ride bulls? I goes, of course I ride bulls. And at the time, I'd only been on 2 horses in my life. One was at a church camp when I was 8, and it threw me off. The other one was in Tijuana, and it was like emaciated, got me like 50 yards up, and then dropped me. So you ride bulls? I was like, yeah, of course I do. Like, you want to ride in the jackpot? Rodeo on Saturday, and this is like on a Wednesday. I'm like, well, in America, we got to get an eye test, blood test, you know, like, I was like, yeah, do it. Next thing I know, they're like, yeah, we got this bloke, friends with Tuff Hedeman, who's an 8-time world champion bull rider, which they're like, do you know Tuff Hedeman? I was like, yeah. They're like, do you know 50 Cent? I was like, yeah. Do you know Mariah Carey? No, but I know her manager. Like, do you know Tuff Hedeman? I said, yeah. Next thing I know, they're like, we got this bloke for the Tuff Hedeman gonna ride the jackpot. And I'm like, who is he? It happened to be me. I was like, no. So I've now been on 2 horses and 1 bull.
How long did you last? How long did you last on the bull?
I would like to say it was probably a world record. I went
you listening to this, Tom? Are you listening to this?
It was probably a world record. Some people thought it was 13, 14 seconds, and I did it while smoking a cigarette with no hands. But I think that was what I was thinking, because I got thrown off coming out of the gate and landed on my head. And the next thing I remember was not breathing. And then they're like, mate, what happened? And I was like, well, I had to tell you guys the truth. Actually, never been on the bull before. Before that, they're like, we got this Harold Wilson. He's gonna tie you in so you don't come off. And I was like, that's what I'm afraid of, man. Like, I'm not too smart, and I can prove it. So, but I did have a great experience up there up north. But yeah, it was just hot, bro.
I can tell you this much: I would never fucking live up there.
Huntington Beach is like LA, so I flew
going from Huntington Beach to a little Aboriginal town in rural bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, so there's Kununurra, but then where we would go was Turkey Creek, which is actually an Aboriginal community. Yeah, and we'd stay there. We'd fish, we'd spear fish, we'd hunt bush turkeys. So we'd hunt guana, which is a lizard like an iguana, like it's giant iguana. Yeah. I had the best guana dogs. They'd chase them up the tree, and then the kids would hit them with the rocks, and then we'd bury them in the ground and eat them. Like it was quite the experience from going from living the high life, the fight scene in America, and then all of a sudden living in nowhere. I'm talking nowhere, Australia. You couldn't find it if you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
have you ever ate lizard, Tom?
Not yet.
What's the weirdest thing you've eaten?
I don't know. Like a snail or kangaroo tail, actually. That one was pretty strange.
What are you doing? What are you doing eating snails? First of all, I hope it was in a French restaurant, not your front yard.
It was a long time ago. It was an accident.
It was an accident.
Here we go. This is when we're gonna call it. Okay, tell us how you accidentally eat a snail, man. Like, cause I could understand accidentally eating a fly or a mosquito, but how do you accidentally eat something that doesn't fly?
It's crawling up his shoulder. He's like, no, don't get in my mouth. Hey. 4 hours of the snail slowly crawling into his mouth.
Yeah, you're right on the money there, man.
Oh, please.
Come on, tell us the truth.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, I was really young. Not too long ago. Maybe like 15 years ago. And I saw a snail on the ground, and I was probably pretty hungry and decided to give it a go, you know? Because you watch the movies and you hear how French people eat them, so I thought, why can't I?
What the fuck are you talking about, man? He just figured out the French people about it. Hey, man, first of all, 15 years ago, you were 3, so you didn't know anything about TV. So you just picked up a snail and ate it. I think, hey, Tom, I think you're gonna have to do something. I think we're gonna have to make him eat some real snails, man. We'll go get some escargot, but we'll have it cooked by the French people the right way. You know, we're gonna treat you to a nice dinner and do that. But that being said, we have so I have a taco truck called Taco Loco. Then they have the world's hottest. They have the world's hottest chip, the world's hottest gummy bear. They have the world's hottest hot wing. I have the world's hottest taco. Ranks in at 9 million on the Scoville. We're actually having a competition coming up with all the fighters.
Yeah.
So all the fighters, either they are eating or they can nominate one of their sponsors. And we're going to see which fighters is the most badass. I'm nominating Tom.
Tom, are you gonna be there? Or if Tom's gonna be there, I'm gonna film Tom eating this, and I'll put it in one of the boys only episodes. We'll put it at the start or something, and then we'll discuss it after.
Yeah, well, we did. Remember,
how are you with?
So remember we did the one with Power Drill with the bomb. The bomb is like 3.3 million, right?
Yeah, that's hot as shit.
Yeah, that was horrific. And this is like that was like Kool-Aid compared to this stuff. Is called the Afterlife, but I'm in the process of making my own.
Are you now?
We're bringing in the crystals. They're actually coming like 16 million on the Scoville, and then you cook them down.
Tom, switch the camera, Tom.
Tom, hey, bro, are you? Listen, you don't get fired on your first day. I'm about to reduce your pay in half, and he's already getting paid nothing. So what's half of nothing? So
Minus.
yeah, so minus. Yep, we're keeping him, man.
But the bomb is like that Hot Ones YouTube show where they eat the hot wings. The bomb is the last sauce. It's like the last dab. So you're saying that's 3 and this is 5 million?
Yeah, and then they have Mad Dog 357, which is 9. But yeah, so
Who's gonna eat that?
bro? I did it. There's video on me. I of course, I wasn't talking shit at all. And these guys like, well, you couldn't eat Mad Dog 357. It's 9 million. I was like, man, I grew up sucking jalapeno juice out of my mama's titty. Give me that thing. I got a video. Next 15 minutes, I am puking. I can't hear a thing. My eyes are like closed. I was gonna tell them to call an ambulance, but I couldn't talk. I was too much puking. For 2 days, I hugged people, and their skin would turn red. The shirt that I took it in, like after like 4 months, still gave me a rash. It was horrible. But they've got people eating Mad Dog 357 at 9 million, these competitions. And we're backing ours back down to 5.5 so that we don't want to kill people. We just want to get them close to death.
Now, after hearing all of that, Tom, you excited to eat these tacos?
No.
It's either it's a taco or a snail. What do you want?
I don't know. Man, this is not good choices, man.
I'd take the taco, bro. It's a simple choice.
Not me. I'll eat that snail. Give me that snail, man. Give me 2 snails. I don't want that taco. Trust me, it's that hot.
Yeah, but if you do go, it's gonna be all these fighters, and then we got Tom there, and I want you to win that competition. What's it called? Loco Rumble.
Well, you named it. You know, like I couldn't believe he outthought me for the second time in the same day. Like he beat me 3 times in chess. I'm sure he cheated. Like I was wondering why he gave me all like the checker pieces, and he had like the ones that were like tall. But yeah, he beat me 3 times in one day, one time brutally. We don't want to talk about it. I got PTSD. But then he came up with the
Loco Rumble brought to you by Taco Loco.
So we hit up my friend Steve Kennedy, who fought in the UFC, and I said, and then my other mate said, "Oh, Dragonfire." I said, "We've got a fighters competition, and we're putting it together where we have my other this little Mexican restaurant in there's this markets. So yeah, we're gonna watch a lot of people get punished. So it's a $200 buy-in, and the winner takes 50%. And I take 50%, so let's go. But I gotta supply the food. So and there'll be regular tacos there too. But we're going to see who's the toughest of the tough when it comes to that.
That sounds good. I'm excited to see Tom eat some taco. Oh, to switch the camera, bro.
Right, this guy.
No, we're just picking any of that. He's a fantastic addition to the team. I actually want to, just before we finish off, because the show's called Crimes or Misunderstandings.
Yeah.
And you're American.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't understand anything.
So
let's go.
Your president has got quite a few felonies in his charges, right? Mm-hmm. And the first one, I want you to let us know if this is a crime or a misunderstanding. Right?
Let's go.
So number 1. And this is actually 34 felony counts, this happened. So context, allegedly involved hush money payments to Stormy Daniels during 2016 campaign disguised as legal expenses. So Stormy Daniels, an adult film actress, has consistently claimed that she had a single sexual encounter with Donald Trump in 2006. She provided detailed testimony about his alleged encounters during Trump's 2024 criminal trial in New York, describing it as awkward and unexpected, and stating that it occurred in a hotel suite after a celebrity golf tournament near Lake Nevada. Now, so Trump had sex with this chick.
Yep.
Fucking $130,000 hush money is what he paid, apparently. So he had sex with this chick.
Yeah.
And in America, it's you got to pay for sex, right?
Well, I know I did. I don't know if most people had to.
Now, apparently it's illegal.
No. I'm pretty
Isn't that
sure.
what happened?
No.
Did I butcher that?
I think you destroyed that one. I'm pretty sure, and don't take this, but they gave her, he had one of his lawyers write her a check for $130,000 to shut up and not talk about it.
Yeah.
Because he was married at the time or something like that. But man, I don't know. In America, prostitution is illegal. In Australia, it's not. Hey, look, I'll tell you right now, if some beautiful woman offered to pay me for my penis, I would say no.
What's crazy is in America is that if you pay for sex, it's illegal. But if you put a camera in a room, it's legal.
What do you mean?
So to make porn in America is legal.
Yeah.
Where in Australia, you can't make porn in Australia.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can't hold it in Australia servers. Porn is illegal to make and hold in Australia servers. But in America, prostitution is illegal. But if you film it, it's considered porn and that's legal.
Wow, I didn't say these laws. This would be a serious misunderstanding on my part. Like I misunderstood the laws. I'm sorry, officer. I'm getting rid of those videos right now. Like, shit. Are you serious? So,
yeah, how wild is that?
That's wild. I mean, I can't see that being right though. Is that right? But well, you know who we need to get on. We've got the lady that owns the most brothels. So I've been stalking her, and I tell my girlfriend, I was like, hey, I've got to turn my phone off and go to the brothel for 2 hours. She's like, okay, go ahead. And but she doesn't know I'm going after the 71-year-old owner and trying to bribe her to come onto the show and to give us her story. We've got her close. We're reeling her in, and man, we want to have we'll get to the bottom of everything like in this section because I went and met with her and. We had quite a good conversation, and the lady is like, she's savvy, sharp. She's got a manager that is like, they don't mess around. There's 2 women, and like I was looking for the knives, man. I was like, I don't want to get mugged here, man. But Hard as Nails, interesting story. I don't know what the laws are on that, so I would definitely probably be convicted of a misunderstanding again.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think.
Yeah. Well, give a real question. What's the crime? What's the question? What's the crime?
Oh, is it a crime? Is Trump's felonies for doing this? Is it a crime because he's getting charged? Is it a crime or is that a misunderstanding?
You paid a bribe. What is that? I think it's fair.
It's fair.
I think it's fair, man. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. That's a misunderstanding.
What do you reckon, Tom? Is that a crime or a misunderstanding?
Misunderstanding, man.
Yeah.
He didn't pay for sex. He paid for her not to go tell anyone he had sex.
Yeah.
He's
not bad. He's not bad. He's yeah. I'll let him defend me on my next case, and I'm expecting a little bit less than life. Now, Tom, you only fit in if you get your balls busted. So your balls will be busted quite regularly now that you're part of the addition. I had fun busting your dad's balls all the time. His dad would come to my gym, and I'm talking constant source of entertainment, even in prison. I can't wait for him to get out and be on our show, man. I love the dude. So,
yeah, we got to get him out. He's gonna come out.
All right, so what we've got next is
Tell us
Clark and Clark. How are we gonna? That's our next thing. Two Clarks that have been to prison together, father son, cellmates, prison break, riots, Fremantle. I'm sure nobody wants to watch that.
Oh yeah, they don't want to see a father and son sitting next to each other here with a camera on them, who's been to prison with each other, and whose son says that he just walks around with a shotgun to break his friends out of prison. That's not entertaining at all. That's not entertaining at all.
He said he asked politely, man. Let's be fair, okay?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
So, all right.
It's true.
All right. So, well, what is that? Is that our boys only?
Yeah, I think that was all boys only.
We started with Tony Mokbel, and then we went into it. So if you don't have ADD, now you know what it's like to live in here. You can't escape.
Let us know in the comments if you like the boys only episodes, what you'd like us to do in the boys only episodes. If you want us to let you guys know of guests coming up, like the father-son duo, like the cutting down 60 minutes and taking their guests and having them before they have them. And do you want us to talk about future guests, or do you like us running through different felons and discussing that as well? Personally, I like talking about the podcast and just having a chat with yous. I find that more entertaining than even the Mokbel and that.
Hey, so, actually, why you're just saying that, but even more than all that, if you have committed serious crimes and like have a crazy crime story and want to come on the show, send us a message. And we'll hit you back. And that, if you want to come on the show and tell your story, and the crazier the better, you will be wanted. Nobody's coming in here with arms. I'm just telling you right now. But
do we have an email? A Gmail?
I'm pretty sure we do, but we have to ask Jesse because we do have one.
Yeah.
We do have, it's crimesandmisunderstandings.com. So there's a website.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sure there's an info place you can send it there. Like I said, I just do the talking.
Yeah. So if you do have a crazy story and you're in Perth, we'll put the details down below, whether it's an email address that you can send us your story, and Tom will review it. And
it doesn't have to be in Perth. If you're anywhere in the world, we could do we could split screen, can't we? Because I got guys in the detention center that I want to do, and yeah, we do. If you've got a crazy story, we like the crazier, the more unbelievable, the better. Especially if you have news articles and stuff that can back it up.
Yeah.
Because
Tom, camera, mate. There you go. Now you can do.
Should I do it again?
Do the entire monologue again.
Okay. So actually, if you have done a crazy crime, or you know somebody that's done a crazy crime, you can hit us up. Hit us up at crimesandmisunderstandings.com. Send us your story, especially if you have news articles anywhere in the world. The crazier, the better. But yeah, we'd like to have news articles so we can verify it. We don't want to be putting people's bullshit stories up. So the crazier, the better. If you know somebody or you know a story, we're getting started. We're getting involved, and we want to hear your story. The crazier, the better.
Sounds good. I think that concludes the boys only episode. Unless Tom, do you have something?
No, that's it for me, man.
Awesome. It's been really good.
I like our boys only episode, man. And then we've got our new producer, Tom, and he did all right for a white boy. You know what I mean? He's done all right. But all right. Well, I guess that'll be it for the day.
Cheers, guys.
All right. All right. Not bad, white boy.
You think you can take me? Give me a fucking arm, you wanna take me?